now. Hang on, boys.
Wait.
Wait, wait. Oi, just a little refresher.
Where is it?
There it is. It's there.
Hey. Oh, there it is.
Perseverance will overcome everything in life. All right, let's get
I'll shut that
underway.
down.
Eric's, good
That's
morning.
funny.
Just mute yourself, mate. Amal, we're just going to chuck you on mute. All right, let's get started. We are 7 minutes behind schedule. Ladies and gentlemen, whether you're watching us live or the recording, welcome to the second edition of the Weekly Agents Blueprint, brought to you by the Alpha State of Mind. Thanks for recording there, Bori. We are a quirky bunch of industry agents that are just coming together every week to walk the talk and actually share with you some stuff that's practical and some stuff you can implement and practice in your own businesses. Some stuff we've tried, tested, failed along the way, learn from our pains, don't make the same mistakes. But we're going to share with you some really, really cool stuff that is evolutionary. So last week we did a bit of an introduction of who these faces are that are on screen. And again, if you haven't watched that episode, we've got a YouTube channel. All our content is going to be housed there. Buri, going forward, we've got some incredibly exciting stuff that's going to be happening shortly with what we're launching, from a website launch to, obviously, we've got the Alpha State of Mind community group Facebook page where we're dropping incredible intel on a daily basis that we're sharing. I mean, I just dropped in there this week EDM campaigns, social media campaigns, some AI tech stuff that we're using to basic letterbox dropping stuff, right? So again, for those that missed last week, very simply, we are transactional agencies. We aren't paid coaches or trainers. We're not outsourcing this stuff to bring it to you. This is stuff we're actually doing on the ground on a daily, weekly, monthly basis to win in business and win in life. So without further ado, today we're going to actually have Buri's son, who's going to be hosting the session more so, and he's going to be sharing some new era winning marketing strategies that you can actually take away from today's session and actually apply it to your own business. So, Buri, take yourself off mute, which you already are, legend. Welcome.
Thank you very much
for this session. Maybe a little bit of an intro. What are we diving into today, the nuts and bolts?
Absolutely. I just want to say a huge success for actually getting that live stream working. That was a bit techie for ourselves as well. Yeah, so today, if I can share my screen quickly, it's going to be a two-part process. Can you see the slide there?
Coming in, mate. It's saying screen sharing. We are stretching the bandwidth. Yeah, mate, we got it. Lead generation workflow for real estate agents.
Yeah.
This will prick many ears already, just that little headline right there.
Yeah. Oh, I hope it does. Look, just as a disclaimer, I'm not a $1 million writer yet. However, I would like to be there eventually. I'm just another real estate agent in the trenches who's just providing what I know, and in hopes that it helps your business. If you're a higher GCI writer than I am, and you got a different way of doing things, we'd love to have you on board. Come onto one of our sessions and maybe present what you have to offer as well, because I'm sure a lot of agents out there who are struggling would love to hear and know what you have to offer. So without further ado, let's get into it. This is going to be a two-part process, a two-part episode. So we're going to just go into the foundation of lead generation first and understanding lead generation. And then from there onwards, on the next episode next week, we will be diving into some lead generation methods. But basically, what I wanted to talk about was I know a lot of real estate agents who are either new in the industry or who are struggling to get business. They're very confused, and it's very easy to become confused, especially during the time of January, February, when stock and inventory is a little bit lower for agents who wasn't prospecting, tail end of the year, of, Christmas and New Year's. Your stock and inventory level becomes very, very low. So I think this is the foundation of prospecting and lead generation that all agents need to know. And if you're not doing this in your business, I'm not too sure if you have a business, unless you have millions and millions of dollars to invest into digital marketing. That's another story itself. Okay, so today we're just going to be understanding the foundation of lead gen. So why do we generate leads? Obviously, the purpose of generating leads or prospecting, as what some people would call it, is so that we have listings in the pipeline. So I got right here, the purpose of lead generation is to build a pipeline of potential clients that ensures a steady stream of business. And for the long-term successes, continuous lead generation is critical for maintaining business stability and growth, adapting to market changes, and securing future sales. The whole idea is obviously just to build the relationship, have a pipeline of business coming in all the time, so you're not just chasing your tail and trying to find out where the next deal is, because it's easy to sell 5 properties in 1 month, but once you sell those 5 properties, what are you going to do from there? If you have any questions or you guys want to jump in at any time, feel free to jump in. All right.
Now, just on that, mate, just real quickly, I know this is great and I'm looking forward to today's and next week's session 2-part. Obviously, this is going to be helping agents with a little bit of automation. Give you an example. A lot of agents struggle in February, myself included. I took Christmas, New Year off, right? That's probably my worst month every year. You switch off, you relax. Talking to James Stacey, who is that 70 sale plus a year agent, writing serious numbers. And again, just a little reminder, folks, these sessions aren't dedicated to $1 million performers, right? Plus, if that's you, great, awesome. Get on board, be part of it with us. But if you're somebody who sells 5, 10 homes a year and that's enough for you, that's cool. These sessions are dedicated for you too. But talking to James recently, boy, like just yesterday, actually, when I congratulated him capping on 100% commissions going forward, he capped within 2 months, right?
Yeah, wow.
So he's got 10 months at 100% comms. But I said to him, I said, mate, I've had a sluggish start to the year. Like I've got a couple bits of stock I'm nurturing, but not much. What was it? He goes, mate, I just worked through Christmas and New Year. When agents weren't picking the phones up, I took calls that they didn't. He goes, I jagged 3 listings during that time. So he did the old school physical labor. I guess in being there in your business, what's cool about this that I'm really excited about, mate, is this is like can almost be put on autopilot a little bit during those periods where you're switching off. So it's set and forget. So that's what I'm really looking forward to taking away from this.
Yeah, cool. And like I said, it's a 2-part process, so I won't be showing the whole digital marketing side of the business. That'll be next week's episode. So don't feel bad if I don't present that. Don't be going, hey, he didn't, present that to me. All right, but I want to talk about the importance of conversation and lead generation. All right, because I've had many agents that I've helped generate leads before. They get the lead in their inbox, but they don't pick up the phone and call them. They don't have the conversation. You can't have business without conversation, guys. Like that's the whole idea. The whole idea of prospecting or having that bit of information there that piques the interest of that person wanting to do business with you is to talk to them. So if you don't have the foundation correct of having a conversation with homeowners, right? If you don't have the right scripts and dialogues, if you're not asking the right questions, I think you need training on that first before you even look at lead generation. Because if you have that all set down for you, you're going to be inclined to want to talk to these people. The same thing with your appraisal processes. If your appraisal processes is in the correct order of things and you know how to conduct an appraisal properly to win business, you're going to want to go to more appraisals. Okay, so if your foundations isn't laid properly into how to pick the phone up and call those leads, then you need to look at that as well. So I just want to harp on the importance of conversation. Have those conversations, whether you're door knocking, cold calling, letterbox dropping, digital marketing, whatever the case may be. Always be good at the conversation aspect of things. Okay. Now, moving forward, I want to talk about the overview of marketing strategies. All right. Because if you don't know this, like I got it in bold right here, if you do not understand this, you will not be able to generate leads. Because generating leads can come in many, many forms of aspects. And the categories, and if you guys have other categories to add to this, feel free to let me know. But I've identified the 4 most important categories, which I find is marketing, advertising, promotion, and public relation. Okay, so if you don't have this down packed, or you don't even know about this, I highly recommend that you go and research about this after this Zoom, because it's going to spark your ideas on how to win more business, how to generate more leads. Okay. So we'll go through those categories quickly, but marketing for lead generation, obviously the first one will be database nurturing. So if you're nurturing your database, you're having a conversation with those database, sending them newsletters or emails, that's a way to get inbound leads coming through. it's very generic. I know you hear about it all the time, the cold calls and the door knocks, the database nurturing, but I just want to talk about that. It is a form of way of lead generation, okay? And it probably is one of the most powerful ways of lead generation, being front of mind, because if people know, like, and trust you, they're going to want to do business with you, okay? And the next part is content marketing, which I don't see a lot of people doing this at all. A lot of real estate agents, maybe like 1% of real estate agents in Australia actually do content marketing. Just imagine yourself putting yourself onto YouTube, like a YouTube space, or even Facebook and all those bits and pieces, filming some evergreen content, how to improve your business for sale, or just filming the property itself on like CapCut or something like that, right? And you put that on like a YouTube space, you're gonna be able to generate people with that. And I think you want to jump in there, Chris.
Yeah, so we touched on this last week, Evergreen, and Bora, you gave a great little insight to it last week. But Evergreen, folks, if you're not aware of it, look into it. Just search up Evergreen YouTube. It is massively dominating the real estate markets in the US. Like there is agents writing 6, 7 figure incomes through evergreen content on platforms such as YouTube. And a lot of it is based around not sell, 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 or this is listed or that sold. It's actually frequently asked questions. Did you know? Reviewing an area, why people are moving into the area. It's all about long form, short form, more long form content videos and short form about actually providing information so that when people Google, I want to move to Surrey Hills, I want to move to Burton, what can you tell me about that area? I want to move to the Gold Coast. So, and we all know the cross pollination with Google and YouTube. So, folks, Evergreen's going to be a powerhouse. It's in America, smashing the markets over there for real estate agents. It's probably going to be here in a massive way in the next 5 years. And we talk about the biggest portal in the country. Well, compare that to YouTube, compare that to Google. Which search platform's going to win? Which one's bigger? Local, national, or global footprint?
That's great you made that point, because I think, like, because America's already, generally speaking, 2 years ahead of people, the world, Australian real estate agents will eventually do that. If you're not going on and creating content like the top 10 schools or top 10 councils and stuff like that in your area, another agent would do it, and they're gonna win the business, because it comes back to the awareness side of lead generation, right? If people know, like, and trust you, they want to do business with you. If they don't know who you are, then how can they do business with you? They have to go on Google and search up the best real estate agent in that area. So content marketing is a organic way to generate leads without having to pay for it, because it's free to post a video on YouTube. Just think about that. It's free.
I think, and that's where I get a lot of agents for. And my YouTube channel needs a lot of work, right? But I'm starting to invest time in this space.
Yeah.
But how much video do you have on your phone right now? Right? For me, I've got hundreds of videos. So why not put it into a library such as YouTube? One, it clears up storage space on your phone so it can operate better, right? But two, you've got a labyrinth of content there that you can put into a free platform that, sure, you might not be perfect at it now, but just start with a channel, have a name, have a presence. And whatever you're loading onto your Facebook, Instagram, load it onto your YouTube as well, because that's there for life, folks, right? And, it's just going to help with your SEO footprint going forward long term.
It's a good point you made that.
Find the pain points, find your audience, find their pain points, and just make videos and content that helps them.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Good point you made that. And with our group within the Alpha State of Mine on Facebook, we're actually going to help and run some content on how to set up your YouTube page and Facebook page for business. So that will be coming out shortly soon. So if you're watching this and you're not part of the group, I highly recommend you join the group. You'll see how we do it, and we can even help you in creating, all the images for your business page. Now, moving on quickly, advertising for lead generation. This is what everyone loves and wants to do in this space, but they just don't know how to do it. Just so you know, this is going to be a section that we will be bringing into the course as well, that people can plug in and learn. And I don't know about you, Chris. I don't know about any of you guys, but I hate it. I hate it when digital marketers contact me. Hey, here's 25 listings. Can you handle 25 listings in the month of February? Like, honestly, if you guys can generate that type of leads all the time, you wouldn't be a digital marketer. You'd be a real estate agent yourself. You'd be making more money than what you're currently doing. And not to discredit the digital marketers that can do it, there is a lot that can do it, but I also feel as if digital marketing is actually quite easy once you break down the fundamentals of it. And I think all real estate agents, whether new or old, we should just learn it just in case we need to use it, okay? And you will use it, and it will benefit you. So digital marketing utilizing SEO. Search engine optimizer, pay per click, and social media advertising to target specific demographics and geographies. Really, most of the time, it's just awareness ads, and that's the cheapest ads to run, the best kind of ads to run, and LinkedIn with a lead generation campaign. That's pretty much it, guys. It's not rocket science. We're not doing anything special. It's just we're selling houses. It's really easy to generate these types of leads, which we'll be showing in future, okay? And the second part is print media, investing in advertising in local newspaper, real estate magazines, and direct mail campaigns, which I'll put this in bold because out of all things here, I would say doing your letterbox drops is most important, okay? So if you're looking after a farm area, do your letterbox drops because they will bring in your content paired with digital marketing as well. Now I'm just going through all these categories so you can understand that there is different types of advertising and different methods, which you should choose either one or two to harp on in your farm area. Okay. Now, this one is one that isn't really spoken about. I think it's quite new. I think I'm going to implement this structure into my business. I thought it was really, really cool. But first off, like the special events, you can contact like a local coffee cafe or something like that and do like a meet and greet. I think a lot of people do that. I think Marco, you've been doing that with Tim. That seems pretty cool. And that's another way to generate potential leads as well in your farm area. But what I want to talk about was imagine you have your database, right? You invite your database into a webinar. That webinar is you hosting like one of these sessions about how to improve your property for sale, how to increase the value of a property. Imagine 1,000 of your data, 1,000 contacts of your database on there watching you. They're gonna go to you when it comes time to selling your property. And I see you smiling there, Chris, because it sparked your idea as well. Like who's ever thought of that before? I don't think anyone's ever done that before.
You just blew my mind. Just blew my
Yeah,
mind.
it's crazy, isn't it? I thought of this like this week.
It's so
What?
true because we have industry seminars where brokers and agents get together and you got to get a physical office and a location and get people together and whatnot. But I mean, the power of tech online, that's just doing exactly that, but like this. And I think it's super powerful because you can get mass saturation. There's no
Yeah,
question about it. But let's be honest, how many people want to speak to a real estate agent, right? Not many,
not
right?
many. Yeah,
And more than ever before, like, we've got platforms, and again, this will be in future sessions where we had two appraisals just last week where the consumer booked in with me. They didn't even call me, Bori. They went to my digital business card. There's a section to book directly with Chris, and they booked in with Chris, and I just got the notification, right? So how cool is that? People can interact. They might have picked up an old letterbox drop. They might
yeah,
have clicked on an old email, but they're booking in with me online for an appraisal of their home without even physically picking the phone up.
yeah,
And it's like your barber, your dentist, your doctors. You don't book with them. You don't pick the phone up anymore. You do it via an app or on their website generally.
yeah.
So this is
Absolutely.
really cool, taking that angle of allowing people to tap into you, whether it be anonymously, camera not on, but they can just listen and tune in. It's like you're broadcasting as a TV presenter and host in that
Yeah,
scenario.
It is.
and you could even
That
get
prick
like
Tony's ears. He's like, "Oh, production."
you could even go that.
Yeah. Hey, just as a side note, on that as well, Chris, I'm really looking forward to you going through your lead generation process because the links that you send out and just the platform that you use and the system you use is brilliant. I think you're going to bring a lot of really good information to the Alpha State of Mind with that.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, yeah, cool. I was gonna say
Getting
with that
back
webinar
to
as
that,
well.
so just jumping in, just getting
No,
back.
good.
If you're able to segment your database, you can pretty much get a like a pricing update in your suburb set up as a webinar. So you go, hey, in a week's time, we're starting up this webinar about the market report in your suburb, and it's only going out to the people in that suburb. You can sit down and go, okay, I'm going to go through some real stats from RP data, this, that, and the other,
Oh, yeah.
and basically then, even if you've missed it, everyone that you sent it out to, the recording then gets sent out to them as well.
gold. That's gold, man.
That's
Yeah.
so
And you can
good.
do it all from your home office, right? It's so true because I see so many life coaches online these days. Everyone's a life coach, but there's a lot of them doing serious business, right? And they have webinars where they have audiences of hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of clients plugging in. And they're running a whole conference, a whole seminar from their home studio, office, whatever you want to call it. Why couldn't we do the same? We're going to be in Burton doing price updates. We've got a live webinar happening this day, this time next week. Plug in. You know, you don't have
And
to
you
be
can
seen.
letterbox it, Chris. You can letterbox
Yeah.
and go, hey, scan the QR code to jump into the webinar, and then anyone that jumps into that webinar, then you're starting to build an active database that's interacting with everything.
That's brilliant, man. That's
I would
to-do
like
list is
$10
growing.
royalty for that idea. Thank you very much.
Someone
I
mentioned
just
Dropform earlier too.
Um, I was going to get into that. So we will be teaching you how to do webinars, whether you do a pre-recorded webinar and then you just invite people to watch that pre-record. So it's a webinar on autopilot, which goes to the next level and you can book it. They can book an appraisal with you. That's just another idea that I had. But yeah, we need to cross-pollinate these marketing ideas and tips and tricks as well. What I was going to say before is that you can also invite like your tradies on there as well to talk about the improvements that they recommend doing on a property to increase the value. And then yeah, what I mean by cross-pollinate is like if you're letterboxing, you have the QR code there to your webinar, or vice versa, letterbox and then door knock the area later, which we'll talk about a little bit later as well.
Just on that, Tim Man's just commented, if you're not picking up the phone, you're in the wrong game. I agree.
Yeah.
Phone will get you in a lot of doors and win you a lot of business. I guess this is complementing the digital space to that, though. And Marco is the master of scripts, dialogues, and old school hustle and prospecting, right? So in future sessions, and Timmy Man, we would love to get you on a session. Might hold you to
Absolutely.
this, mate.
Timmy's
To
an
go
animal
through
on the
because
phones. I've heard him.
he's a prospecting machine on the phones, right? So yeah, this is to
He's very
complement
good.
that.
It oozes from him.
Yeah, he's
But that goes back to second slide, the conversation. It's so important to have conversation, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so he's not wrong about that. The second one is public relation as well. So just having community involvement. If you want to go out and sponsor local charity, just to build positive brand images based. I know some real estate agents that do that. I personally don't because I'd rather invest into other aspects of my business. But I couldn't see why this wouldn't be a good thing. So public relation and just being out there, maybe commenting on some news features and stuff like that about the market, it will help you in the long term as well. Lost for words there for a second. Okay.
It's because you're excited, man. The excitement.
So we've already talked about this already, which is hosting the webinar, which is what was good.
Yeah. And Lisa's just commented, you could treat your webinar like a funnel. You can. ClickFunnels, I mean, we know the power of ClickFunnels, don't we, bro, and what they do. I mean, we're building that out as we speak right now. And it's some pretty cool stuff. This is just another little pillar to your business. Don't stop calling, as Timmy said. Don't stop prospecting, banging on doors. But if you could create a click funnel, and again, this is just automation stuff. So as we said at the beginning, if you take Christmas period off, you have a bit of a break. This is the stuff. So if you're not dialing in because you're on holiday, this is the stuff you can set behind the scenes so it continually is happening out there for you.
I guess
absolutely.
That's that kind of that circle around your clients. So once you've captured the client, yes, you're making the phone calls, but then you're also talking to them via letterbox drop, digital marketing, Facebook. Get them really like the whole relationship that you've got. It's a sticky relationship where they're seeing you constantly. And not only that, but you're not giving real estate stuff where you look like a real estate agent. You're giving them real education because there's going to be certain people in certain modes or certain time frames of their selling journey, and whoever gives them the best advice, you're generally going to be the one that's going to get called up.
YouTube is the perfect platform for intent-based. YouTube is an intent-based platform, so this is where we can build the trust. We can bring in cold leads, and they're like, okay, these guys are good. Warm them up, and then when they're ready, they've already got your trust.
I give it to this way. Like my partner, she loves real estate, but she's on TikTok, she's on Instagram, she's on these platforms, and what she's doing, and outside of real estate, she's following certain personalities and people, but she's following them because she's trying to empower her own life as well. And generally speaking, most people are doing the exact same thing. They're following car shows or fishing shows or whatever it might be, Chris. But like for me, I'm following car shows, camping shows, stuff like that, personalities, because they're giving us valid information and value on what we're wanting to do in the future. So it's exactly the same thing as real estate agents. And I think the one thing that we do have to stop doing though is stop coming across with commission breath on these
Yeah.
conversations.
Absolutely.
This swami, charming kind of like people
Yeah.
hate it. They like authenticity. They like seeing you with families. They like seeing you with, in your normal place. They like seeing you that you're just like them. Okay, that you're doing a service, that they're doing a service, I'm doing a service, and they can trust you to help them out in the future.
They don't want
Hey,
an
here's a
actor, they
thought.
want an agent.
Here's a thought, right? I just had this beautiful dream in the perfect world. We know the portal that we have this love-hate relationship here in Australia, right? Because we're in bed with them. They monetize out of us and the business we generate and bring to them. We all know that portal that we're talking about across Australia. And we've been arguing as an industry for decades. How do we take them on? How do we beat them at their own game? Will they take over the real estate agent? What if YouTube was already that platform that's there? If we just loaded all our content as an industry agent, right? If you could drive all traffic to you on YouTube, people can watch a video of every property, whatever it is, or find out factual information about an area. But then you could eventually monetize that as an industry agent as well. There's another pillar of income that Bory's exploring. Imagine that. Imagine if we could
Absolutely.
push all our property and our real estate and people content to YouTube to take on the biggest portal platform in Australia.
The only
You,
the
you've
only
got
thing
you've got
that's
an audience coming directly to you, and you could monetize it if people
Yeah, but
start
the only
subscribing and view
the only thing
time.
that I'd say, you need to have a combined platform where you send up your YouTube information and pull properties and stuff like that, and then people can go, okay, well, I'm looking in, say, Ingle Farm, and then all of a sudden, all these videos and properties of what agents are not only selling, but also what they're doing and what they're like, if you're wanting to sell yourself.
Yeah,
There wouldn't
yeah,
there
yeah.
there wouldn't be a bad idea, because what we could do with the platform we're building our things on, we could actually build like a single page property profile, right? And have it in the comment section. If you want to know more about this property, just click on this link from the YouTube
Yeah.
videos. It wouldn't be a
Oh,
bad idea at all. Like, that's very smart.
So on YouTube,
yeah.
you can have top 10, things about Ingle Farm, top 10 things about Para Hills, top 10 things about Elizabeth North. And if that's on
Have all
your,
the properties there as well.
yeah, and I think, we could really utilize shorts, those short little videos. They're great.
It-
Link to the larger video. And in that description, it has, your Jotform link, or it has your website link, bringing people in
This
there.
is going deep. We could look back on this EP in 5 years' time, and who knows, YouTube might be the platform, right? We could be the pioneers of this. And the other thing with
Alpha state of
YouTube,
mind.
yeah, absolutely. And the other thing with YouTube, like, always look for your competitive advantage or point of difference over everybody else. Like, no one in my marketplace as an agent promotes YouTube as a platform. And again, scale of size, YouTube, the other portal that's national that we all use, which one's bigger? You know what I mean? Could this be a point of difference? And this is why many agents in America are killing it in this space, because they're the first to start going down the evergreen and the YouTube platform space
Yeah.
to get engagement, views, subscribers, followers, because they're adding valuable information to their
I
followers.
guess why is that? I think we touched on this last week. Is that our clientele is changing and they are becoming more digital, and we need to start, as supposedly we are marketers, and that's what real estate agents do. Why aren't we getting closer to more that digital space? Why aren't we getting in front of the camera a bit more? Why aren't we doing all these kind of things rather than still acting like we're still in the messenger?
Yeah, I agree, and I
Yeah.
think we need to be less afraid of being in front of camera. We need to really look to the best, just copy the
Yeah.
best. Do as much as we can. Look at and teach people how to look at the data at the back end. Now, Bori's an expert on this stuff. I go around to his office, and he's going, check this out, check this out, check this out, paying attention to all these data streams, going, right, what's working, what's not working. Let's really pay attention to that. And here's a place where we can actually teach people how to
Share it.
utilize
Yeah.
all that information properly.
And,
And
and I think there's no more excuses. I hear a lot of agents out there. Oh, this is digital stuff. Yeah, I'm getting on the phones and doing this, doing that. But unfortunately, if you're not on this right now and over the next 3 years, and if you don't apply yourself and learn about this stuff, guess what? You're just going to be one of those same dinosaurs you see out in the paddock over there in real estate land. Not doing anything.
It's so true. If you're not going to do it and get in front of the camera, guess what? The next generational agent that's coming through is going to do it. They're going to dominate you. They're going to take market share from you. and they're just going to connect with the next generational consumer that's coming
because
through.
they're
So
doing it
again,
faster. They're doing it in the
more
same playground.
efficiently.
Yeah, and then
And
the
so,
same playground. Like I said, if let's say me and my missus were going to sell our house, my missus will be telling me, Marco, have you looked at this agent on Instagram? Have you looked? She'll send me links to the agent, going, hey, what's going on here? What's going on there? Have a look at this guy. Which one do you like? That one there. Let's get them in.
One of the
yeah,
most important things, it's not even the quality of the video sometimes. It makes a big difference, but it's the quality of your content. Like content first, and then later on, just improve on the quality of your videos. But if you're providing great content, you're connecting to pain points that people are having. People are going to go, well, I want to watch the next video. I want to watch the next video, and and the more you're popping up on that person's stream, you're popping up on other people's stream as well.
And I'm sure
perfect.
the boys here on the panel here, like how many times have you heard it now? Which I have. I've gone to, friends and families events and just general events, and they go, "Oh, Marco, I've seen your stuff. It's really good. Keep going. Like I really enjoy it." And you're like, but you don't see them liking it or anything like that. But when you rock up, to an event, they go, "Hey, that point that you made or that thing that you did the other day, that was really cool." I'm like, "Well, it's working."
People say
Yeah.
it.
It definitely is working. And one thing I want to say is that if you're afraid to get on the camera, right, just bear in mind your first video is not going to get much views.
It's your worst.
It's
It
your
gets better
worst,
from
right?
that.
Yeah, but you can only improve. Like that is the worst you're ever going to be. Now the second thing is like, do you need professional gear? Absolutely not. You've got a phone, right? You got a
You can
phone.
start.
You can start, right? Because these phones, they got phenomenal cameras these days. You don't even need professional sound gear with them yet, until you get to that level where you can start investing into better equipment and stuff like that. But as long as you've got a phone, you can record yourself, put yourself onto the YouTube platform space, and create evergreen content. Search that word up, search what it means, and I think you will be dominating that space. You guys took a lot of
Well,
the
we've
content I was
hijacked you,
going to
man.
share.
We've
You've
hijacked you,
hijacked
bro.
me, so I'm trying to figure out
Yeah,
what I should
where it's
say.
like,
But
I
okay,
was about to go for that, but now I can't because you've already said it. No, I think
I've got the workflow here as well that I go by. Okay, so firstly, you want to identify your target audience, your farm area, or even the database that you're calling. Now you can get that through many channels. Whether you invest some money into things like ID for me and get the numbers from there, or pull it from Pricefinder, CoreLogic, or reverse directory.
Now, quickly, Bori, what's the ideal number? Because I have a lot of agents that we talk to. What's the ideal number that you want in your farm area? What do you want to
Very,
start?
very
So
good, very good.
let's say if you're a brand new agent, you're going to start off fresh, right? How many numbers or how many houses would you hit in the first, let's say, 3 months?
Look, I don't know about the first 3 months, but the number is that I've researched is 1,000 bits of data in your database in that farm area, because 10% of those database will transact in a year's time. 10% of 1,000 is 100 homes, and even if you just list 10 of those 100 homes, you made yourself 100K GCI working at 10 grand com. Okay.
For me, what I've found, which is a magical number, which everyone talks, like I said, this is for an agent that you might know what's going on. You might be a brand new agent. You might be an agent that wants to kind of maybe re-inspire themselves and start all over again. What I've kind of the magical number of is 1,000. You're quite right. The data has to be that you're looking for is first name, last name, email address,
Yep.
right? They're the actual people that are within their homes, that kind of identification information. But I'd say like every month you want to hit no more than say about 200 to 300 homes, and you go there, door knocking, letterboxing, phone calling, whatever's your information. And I guess from there, with what you're talking about, then funneling them back into the digital channels that you've got.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, that is a lead right there, isn't it? Like a name, number, email, and address. That's a lead, right? And then you got to have the conversation of calling. You got to make the phone call.
And the thing with identifying target audience, like that's a very generic terminology. We're talking about BDA farm core areas now, but just look at it even from a lead gen perspective. Like, so if you're putting together a social post, I see a lot of agents, and I'm guilty as well, man. I just do a generic thing, right? Without actually thinking, who am I trying to target here?
Yeah.
So before you do something, whether it be on your news feed, whether it be a Google or YouTube ad, like actually sit there and think, who am I trying to target that I want leads coming in from? So, for example, I did an Adelaide 2025 property forecast publication in January because everyone's question coming back in the new year is how's the market bounce back and what's the forecast and outlook for this year. So in that, I tailored the publication very specifically targeting homeowners in the northeastern region and marketplace of Adelaide, South Australia. Okay. The reason I did that because when I did my ad campaign, I wasn't targeting south of Adelaide. I wasn't targeting west of Adelaide. My content was centralized around all homeowners who live from Adelaide to perhaps the Gawler Belt region. So my content was built around that so that when I targeted my ads, I identified my audience and then that's who I went and targeted specifically. So it's not spray saturation. It's very targeted. What's the content I'm putting together and what's the message or the value add for that audience that I'm trying to appeal to, right? Add value to, not sell to, add value to. And then how do I retarget that audience? So that's really important too.
Start backwards. You find your target audience first, then
Yep.
you make the content, and that way you'll have more loyal. We'll call them followers for the sake of it, but that's the best way to go about it.
I like to call them raving fans.
Raving
fans.
Exactly.
You got to know who you're trying to target, right? So identify the target audience. Otherwise, it's going to be a shotgun approach and hope for the best. And forgive me if I'm wrong, but like, you know, advertising to 18-year-olds is probably not going to do you any justice right now. You want people who are homeowners doing business, even home buyers. So develop a marketing strategy back to what I was talking about in the previous slides, whether you door knock, letterbox, drop, cold call, digital marketing, in-person events. Now, I would say do all of this. Find a way to do all of this. But if that overloads your way of thinking, just do two. Okay. And what I mean by that is if you're going to door knock a specific suburb, door knock with purpose. So I was just talking to Tony about this last night, right? Have you ever you're at home and there's some roadworks that's in front of your house, or they got to cut the electricity for a couple of days or something like that? What they do is those guys they come and they letterboxes drop the area. Important notice. Okay, important notice. Your electricity water service is going to be disconnected from this time to this time, and then they door knock the street as well to let you know, to make sure that they're going to do that. Okay, so don't be doing anything crazy at that time. So I think you can implement that idea back into real estate where you go, important notice. We're going to be in your street from this time to this time. If you have any information or you want to get to know us, we're going to be here to have a chat with you. You letterbox that whole area, then you must door knock that area when the time that you say you're going to door knock them, right? Then you go out and door knock the street because the first touch point has been done. They've already seen a letter from you. They've seen your face already. So they kind of expect that, a real estate agent's going to come by. Then you go by, you rock up, and when you're there, obviously have a conversation with them, try to get their name, number, and email, capture the lead and put it into a database. Or if they're thinking about selling, well, you're right there in front of the people. So don't just go out and door knock without purpose. Door knock with a purpose, okay? Because I hate it when people come to my house unannounced. All right?
Yeah, that's gold. That is gold. Firstly, you could do the important notice. We're going to be in your street during this day and time, giving all the local residents a free complimentary price and suburb report of their home.
Yeah.
So you're already creating the brand awareness because you're in the letterbox, so they've seen you. 2, you've given courtesy in the first touch point, so you give them a heads up. So 3, when you bang on their door and say, well, I'm not going to know you, Bori, but obviously, hello, sir. I'm Chris Jansen from EXP Realty. Last week, we dropped a letter of an important notice that we're going to be in your street giving local residents a free property and price report of their home and suburb. I'd like to send an electronic version of it to yourself. I just need your name, email, mobile number, and I can send it to you right now. I mean, the reality is you can send price reports via your phone on the spot.
Yeah,
you don't need to go back to the office. So let me just grab some details. I'm going to compile the report and I'm going to give it to you right now because I know your address. I'm standing on your front door. Boom. There's the SMS.
Yeah, that's great. I was going to do a role play, but you just did that.
We're killing Bori's presentation here.
It's good because I don't have to do it now.
That's Bori's next 6 slides.
I've got a great story about that. We've got a young buck named Renz that's just started with us, and he's absolutely killing it out there. But all he's doing is literally just door knocking. He's making the phone calls, but he's door knocking. And he picked up his first listing. There's a house in Manningham, and the house at the front looked a little bit like, a little bit underprepared. Anyway, but he went in there, knocked on the door. The guy at the front, he looked a little bit weathered as well. But he goes, "Yep, I'm ready to sell. No one's come up to my door. You're the one that's brave enough to come up to my door." And literally, he's just about to settle that property very soon. And that's just because he's gone through door knock consistently, hunting with presents because he loves the Manningham area and just spreading the good news. And that's where it gets you.
And it's
Well,
so true. Anthony Kershaw just this week listed one, um, and it was simply a garage sale. Like Marco, do you remember the day in the Messenger? This is how I started my career. We got the Messenger paper every week, and they used to list in there the garage sales for
And
that
there's nothing
weekend.
in
So
it.
you had everyone's address.
Yeah,
You're
wow.
like, so we used to visit them. I used to go there and say, look, I'm not actually here to buy anything, but a lot of people often, when they have a garage sale, it's because they're cleaning out, decluttering in readiness for a potential sale. I just want to give you my business card. If there's an opportunity, we could just have a chat to see what we can do to help you. If you are moving, there's some information. And it was a touch point, you know what I mean? So just go back to basics. Like think of that. How many garage sales are happening in your area on
So do
a
we do we
weekend
do we now
basis?
start hunting on Marketplace?
Marketplace, bro.
yeah.
Well, that's the new messenger, isn't it? Marketplace and
Anyone that's now
Gumtree.
starting to sell household appliances or equipment is like, "Hey guys, just wondering if you're looking
Yeah.
at selling."
You just go to buy things and just like bring your card. Actually, I was talking to Anthony yesterday because we were doing photo shoots for headshots, and he literally told me about that garage sale one. And there was two old nanas next to each other, and one of them bumped and said, "Hey, hey, hey!" And the lady goes, "Are you Anthony?" Because the guy's a legend, and he's like, "Well, yes." So he's a bit of a legend, and he's, as he said to me before, he's going back to those basics as well, knocking on doors.
It works, man. It
Work.
works.
And I was gonna harp on this one as well, which I said to Tony yesterday, is get those door hangers made. So then if you miss them, because not everyone's gonna be home, right? They're probably gonna be at work or whatever the case may be. But leave that there and with a QR code to maybe your webinar or a video or something like that, or a way to contact you, because that's a second touch point there. You
Yeah,
get what I
Vista
mean?
Print do
Corey,
those ones.
just giving you a time update, mate. You need to wrap the presentation up. It's taking too long.
40 minutes, 41 minutes. We like to keep these to 60, so we got 20
We'll go
thereabouts.
through it quickly, but another thing you can do is obviously like with digital marketing as well. You can do a small video of yourself introducing yourself, who you are, and where you're going to be in your farm area. So do a little awareness, add to that, and then go door knock around that or cold call around that as well. So that's just another way to generate leads. To
Oh,
be. No, you
I'll
go.
just add on that, mate, because again, when I started my core BDA farm area, digital wasn't around, right? So this is a little thing, and I'm happy to share this. If you DM us through the Alpha State of Mind group page, I have what's called a welcome to the area pack, right? So there might be 6, 8 transactions in my core area every month, right? I might only sell one of those, maybe two at best on a good month, but there's nearly, let's call it, what would that be? 6 times, let's call it 8. So what's that? 90. There's going to be about 80 plus transactions, let's call it, that happen in a core area on an annual basis. Um, so what I used to do is, whether I sold it or not, I used to go to other agents' settlements. Once the property's settled, obviously, a couple of weeks, and I used to knock on their door, and I had a welcome to the area pack, like a little wine bottle. I used to have some brochures of the local butcher, the barber, the chemist, supporting local. I had a calendar of their wheelie bin days, so they knew when it was green waste, all of that stuff. And it had my calendar. It had a local suburb report as well. So I used to go up and say, "Hey, Tony." Well, I wouldn't know the name of the owner, obviously, but I'd say, "Oh,
Yeah.
g'day, my name's Chris Jansen. I'm from EXP Realty. I understand you just bought the property and settled on it 2 weeks ago. Congratulations, welcome to the area. Look, I actually sell a lot of homes in the area, and I like to welcome everybody to this incredible community. I've prepared a little welcome to the area pack in there that's got a lot of local resources in there. There's a little wine bottle from me just to say congratulations to you personally. But look, what I do, you obviously just bought the home and you probably never intend on selling, but I just keep your neighbours up to date of what's happening with the local community, particularly with property pricing, supply, demand, and I send them a complimentary report every bi-monthly. I'd love to do the same for you. Can I just grab your name, your email, and your best mobile number? I used to get a lot of data through just doing that. And often people said to me, "Oh, wow, we didn't get a settlement gift from our agent."
I
Just
did.
by being there, A, brand awareness, face, you're on their door. B, you're giving them something. So guess what? When you want to get something in return, it's easy to get when you give something first.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
pretty.
That's gold. I would like that. I would start doing that. That's a smart idea.
Exactly.
Got a big
Um,
suburb, man.
we'll just move forward for timing sakes.
Yes, otherwise Marco's going to wrap us on the
Yeah,
knuckles.
Marco's going to get angry at us. Obviously, you guys already talked about the lead capture, what we're looking for, and then you chuck that into a database. Then you move forward to the conversation side of things, that's prospecting or whatever you want to call it, right? What you do in those conversations, right? You're calling with intent to provide value, okay? Don't call with no reason. Provide value, give them some updates about their area, whether they want it or not. Nurture the lead, follow up on the past appraisal if you've already done an appraisal for them at their door. This is the most important one that I think out of all of this here is get to know your clients. And what I mean by that is get to know them on a personal level, almost become their friend. Because when people need to refer any business, they want to refer it to their friends first. They always want to help people. So my business is based on most of the people I sell for are my friends because I've became their friends over time, and I think that's very important. Whether you have the same ideology or not, I don't know, but I think that's important to me. So I think getting to know your clients, on a personal level is very important, and then you can establish the selling time frame or any other relevant info, and then when it's time to list their property, they're going to go to you.
I think if you got 1,000 rating fans, like we talked about before, not so much friends. Like, I mean, not everyone wants to be a friend with you as a real estate agent because how many people love real estate agents. But more so like a raving fan. Like, I'm not my friend with my doctor, but I know when I need to do something with medical, I'll go to my doctor. But because I like my doctor, because he's personable, he understands me. We got the kind of same beliefs and understandings. I'm gonna go to him, and if I have, like, say with my physio, if I have someone that's got a sore back, I go, why don't you go catch up with my physio, mate? He's really, really good. It's the same. It's just making sure that they align with you and you align with them.
Anything else you guys want to add to that?
It's classic. Like I've got clients who've done business with me that are now friends on Facebook. So I'll give you an example. You guys know I'm doing a development myself, and I've put a bit of content out there on my personal page. Okay, of me, what I'm doing works on the development, and I did one last Sunday. I did one previously. I've had about half a dozen former clients that have done business with me that are now connected with me personally on social that seen that content and said, Chris, we're sitting on a lot of equity. We'd love to explore what you're doing and how you're doing it. So literally tomorrow, Alan, is a client and now a friend of mine, is meeting me on my development side, and I'm going to talk to him about the ins and the outs and the learnings because I'm doing this stuff, right? I've had other people that have said the same. Look, we're interested because everyone's sitting on a lot of equity at the moment, right? Everyone's got, they double their house values essentially. I've had people reach out to me saying, we might sell and cash out and downsize and maybe do a development or two like you're doing. Like it's just created opportunities through those personal connections and relationships. Because again, I'm putting stuff out there that's not just listed, just sold. Do you want to sell, guys? Do you want an appraisal? Do you want a free market update? Like I'm giving that content. And I had no expectation of those people to reach out to me. Zero. I just did it just because it's a journey. I'm vlogging my journey.
If there's anything we've learned about doing content, it's that every time we go outside the just listed under contract videos and walkthrough videos, you move outside of that, people are just engaging and engaging. So that's what I'd recommend to everyone. Just share your story, like Chris has. It works. It works better than you think.
100%, man. Don't worry.
Yeah, just a
We
quick
are
question.
we are 13 minutes to the 60-minute time slot.
Just a quick question.
Marco.
Yeah, just a quick question. Who's
Wind it up,
charging?
Marco.
Who's charging for their market updates?
What? Oh,
Yeah,
gee.
haven't they always been free?
No.
It's a good point. They've always been free.
I mean,
I love that.
geez,
I should start charging.
who's getting away with charging for market updates?
Oh, I
No one,
charge.
surely.
I charge, man. I charge a coffee. That's what I say to a client when they say, "How much is it?" I say, "Well, look, it's free, but you can just make me a nice cup of coffee or tea."
Yeah. Put the kettle on.
All right, mate. Boring.
Now, just quickly, because we're just going to wrap this up. So, if you guys want to follow us on our Facebook page, it's right here. Just search it up, and we'll drop it in the link as well. And subscribe to our YouTube channel because we're going to be dropping some evergreen gold content. Sorry about that. Some gold content that you guys can replicate as well. Now, most importantly, some of the things that we've talked about with these structures here, the door knocking, letterbox drops, and all those bits and pieces, we are going to create all the fundamentals and templates for you that you can just download off there as well. So if you're a brand new real estate agent and Got a bit of phlegm there. What's going on? I'm
Don't
about to
dine us,
die.
man. We've still
I'm
got 10
dying
minutes to
presenting.
go.
Now, just quickly, if you guys you're brand new to real estate agent, or even if you are a real estate agent for a number amount of years, but you just want that sort of community collaboration there, and you want some new era ways of doing business, we are going to be here at this group, and you can ask away. No question is a dumb question. We'll help you as much as we can to our knowledge. And yeah, if you have any information to provide as well, love to hear it. We'd love to have you on a show. All right, so that pretty much concludes the episode just on time. Yeah.
Ooh,
That's
that's great,
great.
mate.
Thank you very much for
Good
watching.
content.
That's it. So next week, mate, if you just want to maybe unscreen share. So next week, we're actually going to jump into a bit of lead generation off the back of that stuff. But as Bori said, we are a community of all walks of life and different levels in our careers. If you would like to appear yourself on a potential future session, just reach out to us. There's some incredibly talented members already part of that group. It's not just about us. We are all look, the whole core value of this group, the number one core value is collaboration. Doesn't matter where you come from, what office you're in, or network you're a part of. So we appreciate that. And what's really I'm looking forward to, and again, we say the walk the talk stuff. Bori just showed our YouTube channel and our views. And we're going to show you through the evergreen stuff that we're doing what's going to happen with our own YouTube channel that we've just created and started. What's going to happen with that as we apply this stuff ourselves
Yeah.
into this space of collaboration, not just transaction. Guys, we're 10 minutes ahead of schedule. Any other words of wisdom from the Chiefs?
I think the most important thing is what's happening next week, Chris. What's on schedule? I think Tony is potentially going to be showing us all of his skills and knowledge from his broadcast.
Well, next week's Bori, lead generation part 2 of this.
And then,
but then after that, Tony Lawson, who is he's best at video production and all the stuff that happens with content creation behind the scenes. So after that, mate, part 2 of this series next week. What are you doing the following week there afterwards?
So
Well,
I'm actually going to. Are you? I thought you were asking me.
No, mate, you're next week. You're already locked in. You're dialed in for next week.
No, all
part
good.
2.
I'll just minimize myself. Sorry about that.
No.
Mr.
What I was
Lawson.
going to say, is look, I speak to a lot of people when it comes to doing videos and content for their Facebook pages. And one of the big things I get back is I'm not techie. I just don't know what to do. So what I'm going to do is simplify the process. I'm not going to go into a great deal. What I'm going to do is go into the basics, just the simple stuff. How to import, edit, put music on, put a voiceover on, and maybe even your logo. And it's enough to get someone started. And once you have the basics down, then you're going to fiddle and play. But it takes the basics first. Once you get over the initial fear of having to put a video together, you're like, oh, I might do this. I might put this effect in. I might put a sound effect. And also I might even go into how to get that, that higher quality sound instead of having that sound from your phone, which is very good, by the way. How to get that more amplified, produced quality sound from your voice.
So I guess what Tony will take us through beginning 10 is, how a video is shot ultimately. That's the easy part.
Yep.
And then actually how you edit it. So again, these demos we will be plugging in with our phones too and screen sharing via our phones because it's a tool of our trade. You don't need to spend thousands of dollars in software editing, production and applications.
Exactly.
We're going to share with you how we're creating reels and using our phone, and we'll do a live demo using our phone. Like I created a reel yesterday within 5 minutes, I guess.
Yep.
So we're going to share stuff like that.
Yeah, on your phone
Awesome.
and on the desktop as well.
Brilliant. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us on this, the Agents Weekly Blueprint brought to you by the Alpha State of Mind. Marco,
Chris,
hold your peace or say it now.
yeah, are we bringing flowers next week? Because it's the 14th.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, is that what you were getting at?
Oh, it's Valentine's
You're
Day.
one of those, are you?
All right, legend.
Mate,
Thank you.
Every day is Valentine's Day when you're married. That's what I tell my wife, right?
We need
All
some
right,
outro
legends.
music.
Have a great day. Thanks for joining us live, folks. Have a successful weekend ahead. We'll see you next week, same time, same channel. Let's go.
Thanks, guys.